My name is William Drew. I am a captain with the Naugatuck Fire Department, and I have been asked to give this video testimony regarding the incident at 614 Mays Street. On the date in question, I was working my normal rotation in the fire marshal's office. When the call came in at 614 Mays Street, I was out of the office conducting a follow-up investigation on the other side of town, but responded once I received notification that the incident was a working fire. When I arrived, the fire had already been extinguished and the crews had been dispatched to another working fire nearby. The house was vacant, the family was not home, and so I began my investigation. It was during the course of my investigation that I observed a melted device behind a broken television in the living room. I also observed a pour pattern behind this television that extended toward the kitchen. I photographed the melted device, the television, and the pour pattern. I would like to submit these photographs that I took as evidence. This is a picture of the melted device, which I concluded to be a space heater, and the television. And this is a photograph of the pour pattern. I also took samples from the pour pattern for a chemical analysis, and the subsequent analysis came back as kerosene. It is based on this evidence that I concluded the fire was an act of arson. I ask Your Honor to consider the circumstances surrounding my investigation of the fire. As I was operating in the office of fire marshal that day, I am authorized to perform administrative warrantless searches. I would ask Your Honor to consider the case of State v. Vader in this regard, which states that the examination of property by an appointed fire marshal after a fire in order to determine the origin and circumstances of the fire can conduct a search without a warrant and does not violate the resident's Fourth Amendment rights. I would also ask Your Honor to consider that the damage caused by the fire rendered the home uninhabitable. Under State v. Vader, because the home was uninhabitable, a search warrant was not needed to perform my investigation and collect evidence, and this entry and collection did not violate the defendant's Fourth Amendment rights. Finally, I would ask Your Honor to consider the exigent circumstances regarding this incident. As the radio transmissions from that incident that have been entered into evidence have shown, the fire in the living room burned hotter and faster than a typical residential fire. I ask Your Honor to refer to the cases of Michigan v. Tyler and State v. Barrett in this regard, which state that my investigation and the subsequent collection of evidence from this investigation was lawful because of the compelling need for official action and no time to secure a warrant. Because the radio transmissions from this incident led me to believe that arson may have been the cause, and because crews had to respond to another call and as such were not able to remain on scene in order to secure the property, I needed to begin my investigation as soon as I arrived in order to document and preserve evidence. In light of the information that I have provided in this testimony and the relevant cases that I have referenced in defense of my investigation after the fire and the evidence that I collected which led me to charge the defendant with arson, I ask Your Honor to uphold the evidence on the grounds that my investigation did not violate the defendant's Fourth Amendment rights. Thank you.